Hey Aries, it's Dr. Leona coming on in for your Seize Your Destiny series. It's the Destiny series, I'm calling it. It is dated as April 2025 because that's when I'm recording it. But of course, this is for May. Why? Because in May, on May 18th to be exact, we have the nodes of destiny, Rahu and Ketu respectively, moving into Leo and Aquarius. Now, this happens once every 18 years. And it doesn't happen exactly in this way in 18 years. It happens in the opposite. We'll get the opposite thing happening, where it will be Rahu moving into Leo, which is interesting because that's when fame can happen. So, you know, hey, 18 years from now, someone out there who want the fame, it could happen. With Ketu going there, it's going to be detachment from things like fame. It's going to be more about working for big organizations and becoming wealthy through nonprofit organizations, okay? So that's one way to do it. Bigger organizations like government is also a way to do it, working for World Health Organization or big, big organizations that involve the global community. That might be really helpful for you all. All right, guys, let's go, Aries. Let's go. You're ruled by Mars, the first house. Your Mars controls the body, our physical life. It's all about gold is part of Mars energy. Mars is also, of course, the warlike energy. If you happen to have a retrograde Mars in your chart, in another lifetime, you probably didn't take really good care of your body. And in this lifetime, that's something you have to learn to do. Take better care of your body and your mind. Because Mars also represents psychology. It also rules the 8th house. We have this energy coming through for you today of that beautiful changeover in the nodes of destiny, and someone is hot to trot. I will say that out loud. To see this extended, come over to Patreon. Someone wants to come towards their Empress. Well, I'll tell you, this is the 4th try, and actually it's the 5th try. So this has come out like every time, all right? Sometimes I do experiments like that, but this is crazy town. Somebody really, really, really wants their Empress, and I'm not sure who you are. Usually you're the Emperor. Gender is fluid in tarot, so don't get too upset about the implied gender there. It's really not. It's just the energies. Somebody that's abundant here, is that energy of that Empress. And then we see it followed by the 10 of Pentacles. So someone with Empress energy is about to get stacked. I mean, they're going to level up in a big way. It could be you. Number 3 here, number 10, and then we got this Knight of Swords coming in. Someone who wants to mess it up. So that's what I'm seeing. Can I tell you that? That's been coming out every time. So I don't know who this is in the collective. I mean, I think I know who it is personally in my world. The person that thinks they're an Aries, I know who that is. But if it's you or someone connected to you, what this energy has been telling me over and over again, like I said, this is the 5th try. Now, if I'm honest, it's the 5th try. So what I'm seeing again and again and again is that this Empress is doing well. They're totally fine. They're doing pretty well. And then this person says, oh, my Empress is doing well. I haven't talked to the Empress in a long time because of a third party. I'm going to come rushing in and try to dysregulate this person. Okay, so someone here, and like I said, there they are. The King of Wands is a known player. So there is someone in the collective. It doesn't have to be you. It could just be someone connected to you. It could be your partner for all I know. Or if you don't have a partner right now, maybe it's, I don't know, a sibling, adult child. I don't know. Or it's the other person coming towards you. But this is the energy that I'm getting. An Empress here and a King of Wands wanting to go towards their Empress because the Empress is doing well. They're no longer together. That's this person's hot to trot. This person right here. They want beeline, right, for this Empress. The Empress is going to say no. And this King of Wands is going to feel angry. So this has come out 5 times, okay? So that's a no-go. Third party is no-go for Empresses. Why? Because Empresses don't need that. You see what I'm saying? We just are awesome. We don't need anybody to mess with our energy because when we are focused, we can make that money, honey. We can get creative work done. We can start YouTube channels. We can do a lot of things. And this Empress is like really doing well, living somewhere. Some of you might live actually like near evergreens, near a forest. You could live somewhere where there's a lot of green trees. It could be just like a forever wild kind of in your backyard. It's like not really forever wild. It's just looks that way, right? You might live in a regular suburban neighborhood, but you've got a lot of pines back there. There is this energy of pine trees coming out. So someone here in the collective may live near pine trees. That's specifically for you. This message is for you. So I see this energy of this person wanting to come forward, but they're still attached to someone else because they're a King of Wands. They're always going to have someone waiting in the wings. And the Empress has their own waiting list, okay? So this person's feeling rebuffed, so they don't speak to this Empress. The Empress creates a boundary, and this person comes forward when they see the Empress is doing well. They don't come forward when the Empress isn't doing well, when the Empress needs their help. And I will give you an example of this. So let's say Empress and Emperor have a nice friendship, and Emperor keeps canceling on Empress. Or not Emperor here, this guy here, King of Wands, keeps canceling on Empress because King of Wands has a wife and kids at home. And Empress is like, I'm tired of being the option. You said that things would change, you promised whatever. And, you at least promised me time. What am I doing here? Why are we in this space? And King of Wands says, well, I don't know. I can't do anything about it. And so Empress says, well, it's just time to end this then. This is the end for me. Thanks for all the fish. Douglas Adams fans, you know who you are. Drop comments if you know what I'm talking about. Number 42, answer to everything in the universe. So King of Wands kind of is like playing fast and loose, is in a third party, is kind of out of control, not thinking about things very clearly. Because if they were, they'd understand that they were hurting a lot of people. Everybody in this situation is being hurt by them. Their lack of control, because Empress isn't attached. Empress is number 3 because they're always the third party. Everybody wants a piece of this Empress. And this Empress could have blonde hair, or someone in the equation could have blonde hair. This Emperor is like, angry and coming after not talking, maybe coming at this Empress, like saying, hey, it's been like almost a year. Why haven't we spoken? I forget now. Why? Do you forget why? It's like the velociraptors in Jurassic Park poking at that fence. Yikes. This person is really dysregulated. They need a therapist. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I think we all do. It's part of the work I do, guys. And it's important. Mental health is really important, especially when I see stuff like this. So there is this opportunity. But this guy, this King of Wands, right? So it doesn't have to be an actual male, but this person that's represented by this energy, they're very aggressive. They're coming at this Empress with the wrong stuff. They're coming at this Empress with from a transactional space, and the Empress is looking for a partner. So the Empress is like, sorry, this is a failure to launch. This is a no-go. They keep trying, but then they go dark. Because they feel betrayed. This person here feels betrayed. They feel like they've got 10 swords in their back. Why do they feel betrayed? Because the Empress actually said no. There's actually been no betrayal here. The only betrayal is this person, this King of Wands, betraying their family, their wife, everybody that they know who thinks that they're a good guy when they're really not. Okay, or they're a good person when they're just selfish. They're a selfish person that's not good or bad. Right? They're just selfish, and that's okay. We are allowed to be selfish, but don't expect everybody to fall down at your feet you expect the Empress to do things on your schedule because you have other things going on. Well, the Empress is an Empress for a reason. The Empress has other things going on. The Empress doesn't need this. So the Empress says, thanks, but no thanks. Thanks for all the fish. I'm out of here. Another Douglas Adams reference. Who's getting it? I want to know. Come over to Patreon to see this extended, guys, because that's where I'm going to go through each individual sign and tell you what will happen with each individual sign. I'll go through each one because I do see that the Empress, what they're really sensing, this person's really sensing, is that this Empress is moving on from them. The Empress is being strong. The Empress is on the Strength card. Little Taurus energy in Leo, you bet your boots, because that's fixed energy. So the Sun rules Leo. We have Ketu moving into Leo. So this Empress is like, hey, I'm detaching from my ego. I don't need this anymore. I'm all set. You don't really validate me. I'm validating you. I know that. So I'm good. Good luck with your weird, crazy life. I'm off. I'm outie. see you later. What's that reference from? Come on, who's got it? Put it in the comments below. I'd love to see if you get that reference. Okay, so ultimately, they created a boundary. They have something new happening, and they just want to leave this drama behind. This person's a drama queen. This person they're a king right here, but they're really like full of drama because they're an addict and they're addicted to the drama. They're addicted to the supply that they get from the Empress, from the supply that they get from thinking how they're screwing over their other spouse, how they're screwing over their kids, how everybody thinks of this good guy, this good person, this good human, but actually they have a whole secret life that no one else knows about. They're whacked out in that way. They need some help. They definitely need some help. So I do see this. Yeah, this is what it is. They really want this Empress, and in fact, I believe that they're in love with the Empress. But the Empress is saying it doesn't matter. As long as you're in that other situation, I'm better than this. So this could have happened in the workplace. There's going to be a lack of income from the Empress. If the Empress hired the Emperor, the Empress is not going to be working with the Emperor anymore there, or this King of Wands. I told you the Strength card was coming out. Yeah, this is just really strong. And the Empress is doing good work without this person in the picture. So you ever have one of those relationships, guys, where, you know, no matter what you do, that person just can't help themselves. They want to dysregulate you. So they'll come in unexpectedly. They'll ask you to like, oh, come on, let me come over. And you, of course, want them to come over. You want to see the person you love, and they know that you feel that way. So they're trying to exploit you because they want this. You can't be successful. They want you to be 7 of Pentacles, not 10 of Pentacles. So they're coming in with this aggressive energy. Be careful of this person if it's not you going towards somebody. And if it is, and you're in a higher level of commitment already, think twice, because your partner is going to find out. All right, yeah, see, this is the thing. They know that this is coming. They understand that what's going on here. The Sun and the Moon coming out. So these two people are actually very good friends. One could be a mother and one could be a father, even though they're not mother and father to shared children. This is two people that they have different families already. They came together after all of that. This is definitely a twin flame energy for me, a soulmate energy, twin soul energy here, because it's Sun and Moon. Like you can't have one without the other. The Moon doesn't shine without the Sun, and without the Moon, you know, the tides don't work here on the planet. The Moon is important, the Sun is important. So we have to like think about that. You can't have one without the other. And so like night and day, this individual is thinking about their Empress, and the Empress is going, I don't know, I'm doing good without you. So let's just keep it professional, okay? And that's not really what this other person, this King of Wands, wants, because the King of Wands wants to control. They want power and control. That's why they won't say no. And that's why they'll come back again after like 7 months to a year. It's always like that with avoidance too. It's like clockwork. People that have avoidant personality disorder, people that have avoidant attachment styles, if they're dismissive avoidant, guys, you'll know if they're dismissive avoidant because they'll just dismiss you to avoid commitment. That's usually narcissists, okay? It's not always, but it does tend to be. So this person just didn't talk to this Empress again. You know, the Empress created a boundary. This person didn't talk for a while, and the Empress was like, oh, okay, great. That makes it easy on me. I'm so happy I can go and live my life and be creative and get work done and grow my businesses and just like having a good time over here, traveling the world, going to Italy, going all over the place, Hawaii. This Empress has been everywhere. The Empress is loving life. The Empress is about to absolutely, you reach that point of critical mass where, you know, in physics, we're going to see this Empress explode on the scene. Her career, their career is about to take off in a big, big way. And they don't need this King of Wands hanging around and distracting them. And they're doing much better without them. And there's that Page of Wands. See, that's the energy. Well, I'm going to tell you who this is. It's not this King of Wands. This King of Wands recognizes that the Empress's energy is moving away from them. They feel it energetically. People will feel it. Even if you haven't talked to somebody for like 30 years, I've experienced this, guys, where, you know, a high school boyfriend or something, after 30 years, I don't hear from them at all, you know, like at all. And all of a sudden they're like, all roads lead back to you, blah, blah, blah. These people are boomerangs. You throw them as hard and as far as you want. They're going to come back around every time. They're avoidant, and it just depends on how, you know, frankly, how stubborn they are, how difficult of a person they are, and how many other people didn't work out in between. You know I'm right about that. So the Empress has this new younger person coming toward them, and if you're the Empress, lucky you, because this person's got a very nice wand. Okay, now I see. So the person that's coming in for the Empress is younger, possibly here than the Empress. The Empress could be younger as well. It's a new person. The person that's attached, that keeps pursuing you, if you're the Empress energy, right, Aries? So if you're not the Empress energy, if you're the energy of this King of Wands, you might be attached and you might be trying to get something going with someone else. And don't be embarrassed if I know that. I call that stuff out all the time. You know, if I do your chart, if you come in as a VIP, I'll do your chart and I will say, this placement, these are the things that can happen. And I'll tell you what can happen in a very honest, real way. Because that's 15,000 years of observations of human behavior based on planetary placements, and so it is what it is. You know, it's not wrong. That's why Vedic astrology and sidereal are so accurate. All right, guys. So I do see this energy. You're going to be having Mars move into Leo in June, early June. So by that point, the nodes of destiny will be in Leo and Aquarius. When Mars is in Leo for that about 2 months until about July 24th, July 25th, it moves into Virgo. At that point, Mars does, right? That's your ruling planet. Be prepared for some money crunch then for my beautiful Aries, okay? Just so you're aware, that's what's coming in. Oh, there's a deer across the pond. That's nice. All right, guys, this Empress is about to get married. I love that for this Empress. Yeah, leave that King of Wands behind. He is not good for you. All righty, let's go over to Patreon and find out more. We're going to go through each individual sign from Aries to Pisces, guys. Yes, we're going to see if you're dating someone or you're someone that has like a Aries in their placements, if they're coming towards you. See, this is it. This is this person. They're in a lot of pain because they know that the Empress is getting new offers and they're unhappy about that. They don't want that. They want the Empress to themselves, but they didn't do anything to clear the path. They were in denial about what was really happening in this situation. So I'm going to clear all this up and we're going to go over to Patreon and see what happens over there. We're going to go through each individual sign. Just know that if you are that Empress energy, don't be surprised if an X comes back. And if you're looking for hexes for X's, you know where I live. My voodoo doll's right there, baby. I don't know. I mean, I just use it for boundary spells, right? That's all. Not really spells, but it's just a psychological way to push through and know that you have a backup. Voodoo was used that way. That's how the first Black Republic was created in the world, through voodoo, through that feeling that people weren't alone, that there was some kind of higher power, a higher power that had all of this energy that could reach through natural spaces like rivers and come up from those natural spaces. And it's a different way of thinking. It's very similar to how Hinduism is, where you have these different gods connected with natural elements. And yeah, very, very interesting energy, guys. All right, let's take it over to Patreon. I'll see you over there. I know.